WFUV. It's a public alternative station that's great, but most of the time I listen to it, I'm listening to it online. Then obviously video has become more and more, predominant as something that you watch on your computer or your iPad or what have you. I mean, my big revelation with that was when my old TV in the kitchen wouldn't work because it didn't have a digital cable box, and rather than getting a big cable box for the kitchen, what we did, of course, was started to watch the same programming on the iPad. And as a media person, you kind of go, well, this is really cool, but is Nielsen measuring this? Like, what the hell's going on? And so yesterday, we're driving up here, and the following scenario takes place. My husband had to do some deadline work. He's a reporter. So I'm driving using my GPS on my smartphone. My husband is using his mobile hotspot and like filing copy into the Bloomberg system. My son is like charging his iPod while reading a book on the Kindle, and the only member of the family who is not on a device is my 8-year-old daughter, and the only reason she's not on the iPad is because I told her that before she played a game, she had to play 5 minutes, do 5 minutes of a math app, and she was just steadfastly refusing. So all of a sudden, you're kind of in this place where, digital is everything, and it's not just, certainly not just a medium. I think we've moved beyond that. And I think the thing that I sort of see it as now is this kind of distribution channel. And yeah, it distributes media, but it's very two-way. It's also, very importantly, I think for marketers, a distribution channel of goods and services. And we, as consumers, and I think Bob will get into this, obviously, communicate our thoughts about these goods and services, but so much of my experience with a lot of the companies I do a lot of business with actually happens over digital channels now, and that may not be a marketing message per se, but it is. It has actually a much greater impact on what I think of a brand than anything that can be transmitted to me in any form through an advertisement. So I think the challenge for marketers is both to kind of grasp the advertising implications. Okay, so Facebook is a big platform. How do I get noticed on Facebook? But then there's also the whole other part of the goods and services, and how important that starts to become to both your external organization and your internal one. I know Bob Rinderle from GE Healthcare. Where are you, Bob? He's going to do a presentation tomorrow about the digital transformation in GE Healthcare as a business and how that's kind of moving out to the broader organization. Did I get that right? Yes. Oh, good. Okay. Thanks. Whew. So with that, I'm going to move to our opening keynoter, Bob Garfield. Raise your hand, Bob. That's Bob. I hope all of you know who Bob is, but if you don't, Bob was one of the two people who used to critique like 30-second ads back when they were like the predominant marketing form that roamed the earth. That was my dinosaur analogy. And I think and Bob recently joined us, as did the other person who was critiquing ads back in the day, Barbara Lippert. So they're now both kind of part of the MediaPost team, which is really exciting for us. But I think one thing that is very interesting about Bob's career is that it seemed to me at some point you kind of noticed that like critiquing 30-second ads was no longer what this game was about. And he started to really kind of notice that things were getting shaken up in a much more profound way than I think anybody in marketing, let alone the world, imagined. So in addition to writing for us now, you're also the co-host of, I've got your notes here. He's the co-host of NPR's On the Media. He also is the author of The Chaos Scenario. And his bio notes that he has never held a job with an agency or marketer, which I think makes you kind of perfectly situated to comment about this, right?
Or a complete ignoramus. It could, it depends on how you look at it.
Right, exactly. So with that, I'm going to welcome Bob up to the stage. So give him a big round of applause.